Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm live. I'm just so sorry, Michelle. I'm live. I know you're live right now. You've been probably waiting for me to go on, Miss Michelle. So I hope everybody's doing well. I bought this little before we start. I bought this little cooling fan from this company, and sometimes you buy products and they look a certain way. Well, when I got the fan today, it didn't look anything like it was supposed to look. But it seems to be working really well because I can't show it right now because I'm actually using it, and it's on the other side of the room. So I'm trying to get the temperature down in my room because it's so hot. I haven't been feeling very good the last 2 days. So everything. Hi, Charlotte. How are you? So I haven't been on because even though on Thursday I went to the High Line and then we went out and we walked a little bit after we were done with the High Line. Now with the High Line in New York City, because it has an above ground park that used to be old railroad line. So they opened up the park for the first time since it's been closed on Thursday. Oh, I'm feeling a lot better today than I was before. My mother and family was supposed to go out to Pennsylvania, but because one of my aunts got sick after having an endoscopy is where they put the thing down your throat to check because, she's always had problems down there. So they wanted to check her, and she ended up getting really bad sickness out when she did that, my aunt. So they can't go unless she's feeling better. So now it'll probably be next weekend. My mother's trying to get me to go, but I don't want to go to Pennsylvania. Oh, gosh, you don't even want to know what happened Thursday night. Thursday night, all of a sudden, it's like about 10, 11 o'clock, and all of a sudden, my eyes water up, like my face is swollen, and then all of a sudden, there's hives on my face. I'm like, I've never seen this before on my face. But I know it's an allergic reaction because I've seen it before in other family members. So luckily for me, I didn't have it. I was looking for my EpiPen and I didn't have it, but my mother goes, I have the Benadryl cream. So my mother put the Benadryl cream on me, on my face to get rid of the hives, and that seemed to work. But then Friday was really hot. It was really uncomfortable. I don't know why. And we had our air conditioner, but up here, it seems like the weather, my room gets hotter up here for some weird reason in the summer. So last night, let's just say I did something very messy and I missed where I was supposed to go and it went all over the floor and everything. Literally had to clean up everything when I was done doing what I needed to do. So it was worse because I had to do a major cleanup on my floor of things. So joy, what joy it is. And my mother goes, I hope to God you don't have the Rona. Oh my God, that would be terrible if I had it. So, but today I got the little air conditioning unit. But you know what happened? The air conditioning unit doesn't look like any. Well, I think what caused the hives was probably an allergic reaction. I don't know what exactly caused the allergic reaction, but the hives happened. Hives usually is an allergic reaction to something. My mother had some Benadryl cream, which we never use the Benadryl cream because usually I have my EpiPen, and apparently my EpiPen is. I have to get a new EpiPen, but it's like $50 to get a new EpiPen or $75 to get a new EpiPen because I get very bad reactions to things. So then yesterday I didn't feel good, and then everything was a mess afterwards because of the accident that I caused. And then, my mother wants to go out to Pennsylvania now to see my uncle's new house. I haven't been up there. I don't feel comfortable going and traveling outside of New York City. This is just me personally. It's nothing, I do need a break from my mother, but then my aunt got sick this weekend. So I'm like, oh, why can't I get a break from my mother? So I got some new books. I listed down below in this video description where you can purchase all these books on Amazon. So the first one we got is Bad Fairies by Deborah Muller. Now, a lot of you probably have seen this. We'll probably be coloring out of this one unless you guys see one that you really want me to do. This is Bad Fairies. I hate everybody. So, yes, I didn't get many new books. I just love Bad Fairies. I just thought this was sardonically fast. Yes, hello everybody. This is Bad Fairies by Deborah Muller. You guys. Charlotte, yes, Charlotte has a wrench. I think because I gave her a wrench last time. This is really cute and funny. I probably saw this on who's the big Deborah Muller fan? And either Nikki and Niagara or Miss Ann Hatfield had this on their website. I'm so glad you got them because people have been, the post office has been taking an exceptionally long time with books. So I'm glad. I haven't sent out the new books yet because I just not been feeling well. So hopefully Monday I'll be able to go out and get the books delivered, and then maybe we'll do another giveaway because I've already started putting together a pile of new books to give away. Here's the very high reason. As long as I get rid of some books and I finish some books, this is Deborah Muller's Bad Fairies. You guys all know that I love fairies. Who is my BFF, Corey or Michelle? You know what it is? It's the post offices have taken an extremely long time to deliver anything. Oh, and I ordered 3 new books today. I ordered 3 new coloring books. Guys, if you haven't, Jade Summer has a new coloring book. Oh, yes, she did. Demita Victoria just came out with 2 new ones, too. This is the cover page. I'm good. This is the cover page for the book, Bad Fairies. And for you guys who don't like Amazon paper, I'll let you know right now that Miss Deborah Muller has an Etsy store, so you could purchase this book on PDF or through her. We will probably be coloring a page out of this book today, because you guys know that I love Deborah Muller's fairies. It is a funny, funky book. All the fairies are kind of misbehaving. Do you know that I finished 2 of her books this year, Deborah Muller? Yeah, but it's grayscale. I've been waiting for Chibi Horror Grayscale to come out. I love grayscale. I love Jade Summer's grayscales. And I gave some books to women's. I like this one, Bad Fairy. No, you guys get to see this before anybody else does. One book I probably will not do a flip through of it. Probably do this one because this is the one that I'm coloring in today, probably. This one. Oh no, I hate when that happens. Yeah, because you guys haven't seen the other books yet. Wait till you see the Chibis. Chibis are adorable. Also, guys, if you guys are looking for Harry Potter stuff to carry, color, Fabiana Attanasio has a whole set of Harry Potter images, and it is on her Etsy site. So if you guys want Fabiana Attanasio's I'm out because sometimes I like to do the first one and the last one. I used to color my books in order, but only certain books get colored in order, like Ivy and the Inky Butterfly. That one's getting colored in order. Look at this one. Some of these you could do for Halloween or Magical September. Hint, hint, hint. That's the last one, and then gives you all her things where you could follow her on Facebook, her coloring book, her Instagram, her Etsy, her Pinterest, her email, her website. The next one, Let's Stay Home coloring book. We all know about staying home these days, don't we, everybody? Yes, Country Girl has a YouTube channel, I believe. If someone could put the link down to her channel, or if you don't, just click on the side of Country Girl's name and then open up a new window, and it will take you to her channel if you press the 3 dots next to them. That's usually how it works. This one is called Let's Stay Home coloring book, and this was from a company called Color Cara. So this kind of is like a fun book. You're telling me that there's a free PDF? There's a free digital one. So then it gives you, oops, you guys weren't supposed to see this. So then they give you the relaxing coloring. Then they give you an example of their other books. Let's Stay Home. And they give you this journal page. They give you these journal pages. And then they say write down your feelings and hopes. This is like basically a page where you write down your feelings and hopes, or if you want to write down notes and stuff like that on this book. Kind of disappointed that I got it because it's not my typical book, but that's not to say that you can't practice water, different color mediums. The paper is a little thin, so if you were to use markers, you could, but only thing you would damage the note page here. Pencils would work fine on this if you're not too hard with them. Home is the starting place of love, hope, and dreams. I like that they made this into a little heart. You know, this book may not be everybody's cup of tea. That doesn't mean it's not a nice book. Every book is different in a way. I'm good. You know, I just was not feeling well the last 2 days, so sometimes you have to reverse images. I do not have the new Colin Thompson Color in Heaven one yet, but I'm sure I'll get that one soon enough. It's just a matter of not if, but when. Oh, Kim, that's terrible. Did you take you know what I find that's very good is tea. You put tea with lemon in it. That's what my mother does when her stomach doesn't feel well, and it works for her. Just plain tea, not fancy schmancy. You guys get the full flip throughs of these before anybody else does. I haven't even filmed flip throughs for these books yet, so you guys get very lucky. There are 2 new Danita Victoria books out today. Jade Summer also came out with a new one today. I know a lot of people who would like this. This reminds me of something that you would see in one of those Tatiana Bogima books, Nice Little Town. There's a nasty stomach bug going around, I found out. It's called quarantinitis. Remember, if you guys are not feeling well, don't. It could be the heat because the heat can do a real number on you. That's why you sometimes have to crank up the AC as high as you can to make your rooms feel better. But you know, I don't like what the company that I bought this air cooling system from. Um, what they did was they described it one way, and when I got the product today, it looked totally different than what they advertised on the commercial for it. So I'm not happy about that. Hello, Jess. Color me pink is here. So this is. I think that's what a lot of people are getting that. This looks like a little island. This is very intricate. People who like intricate stuff. I know I bought a lot of books too, but then now I'm also giving away a lot of books as well. So it's not like it's, you know, I'm just buying stuff. I've also had to give away stuff. I've given away stuff. I've also given to some women's shelters, you know, and then I've given some books to my niece as well that, you know, books that I think, you know, I might give my niece the Lion King book, the one from France. But I think she's too young to appreciate that book because that book has scenes from the actual movie. You know, I bought my niece a Frozen coloring book because I thought it was more age appropriate. Her other aunt bought her book, and it was really adult humor like. So I thought it was like kind of an inappropriate book to give a child. I'm not a big cat person, you know. I like cats. I had cats growing up. I had this beautiful, beautiful calico growing up, and then she had some babies, and we kept one of the babies, which was this black and white one, and I named her Precious because she was such a precious looking kitty. And then my aunt took another one of the cats. It was like this blonde one with tiger stripes on it. Had these like lovely little white tiger stripes, and she called it Lionel. So my aunt took one of the cats and she named it Lionel because it looked like a little lion. And who remembers Thundercats from the 1980s, the cartoon? So, and you know, Lionel. That's where they came up with the name Lionel. Who remembers a cartoon series called Thundercats? Thundercats. So, you know, what I've been doing to keep my house cool is sometimes I'll turn off the lights in my house. That's why it's a little bit darker today because when the house is dark, it's cooler. So then you have this one. You guys get the flip throughs, and then they tell me I can get the digital. So then they give you a free download if you give them an email. Yeah, you remember that one. And then this one, I saw this on somebody else's channel, and I could not pass this up, even though the paper is really, really thin on it. This one is called Sailor Moon Chibi Girls Coloring Book. This is so adorable. Anybody know where my Miss Rochelle is? I know she was live a little bit ago, so I don't know if she's still live. See? Let's go, but the paper is really thin, so I wouldn't recommend marker thinness, maybe pencils. Or if you want to do marker coloring, what I would recommend you put this in your scanner or your printer and copy it or scan it in. Because the paper is really, really thin, and I think the markers will just soak through this like crazy. Look at how adorable these little chibis are. Aren't they adorable? Oh, oh. These are adorable. Oh, Robin, I think everybody's tired. The heat makes us crazy. Are this not cute? Serena, of course. I finally found a Sailor Moon book that I like. Now I just got to find a Dragon Ball Z book I like, and then I will be happy. And when I do my collection's gonna look very different than the last time because I've kind of gotten a lot of books out of the collection and kept a lot. But then I've added new stuff. Have finished the books. Oh, who was their daughter? What did they name their daughter with the crazy ass purple hair? It's the Sailor Moon. Richie, Rini. She had a weird name with an R. I know, right? This cuteness is cute. But this book is so thin that you can't really use markers on it because they'll just bleed through unless you want to sacrifice. Yep. Sailor Moon. I grew up with things like Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball Z, Thundercats, Smurfs, My Little Pony. Oh, please don't judge. Everybody knows that they were children once too. These are too cute. Yes, thank you. Aren't these cute? Hi, Michelle. You're here. We are flipping through my new coloring books. This is the new Chibi Girl Sailor Moon book. So I guess we could use this page as another test page. And this is the back of the book. Then we got Harry Potter Chibi coloring book. Now there was a blue one. This is the blue one, and there's the orange one. I got the blue one because I was told the blue one was the one that had the better pictures in it. The orange one didn't have as many nice pictures in it. I forget whose channel I saw this, but I think it might have been Anne's. It might have been Reading with Pugs who did this one. Where'd she get a Copic from? This one is also very thin paper. This is Harry Potter Chibi. We got, of course, our Hogwarts stuff. Mm-hmm. You couldn't even use markers because the paper's really thin. You thought if I thought the Sailor Moon paper was thin, this is even. What is this ratchet? Gotta get it now. Let me give you a test color page. All the pages have this in the back. So if you want to use markers and sacrifice this, I guess you could. Okay. My mother just tested me that she's in Greenwood and that she's good. Okay. I just wanted to let. Not all of them. Just the really, I would say anything that's like an Amazon book that's published by Amazon CreateSpace, you're getting thin unless it's something specifically like Christine Carey and Nikki Burnett. And some of those people that do do a glossy thing that's made for markers. And this is Harry. Oh my God, that is too cute. Look, little Voldemort. Oh. Look at that. That is adorable. I left the link down where you can purchase any of these books. You know what I do with that Nico when it curls? I just put it underneath other books to stop it from curling, and that helps. Dumbledore. Ron. Well, I wouldn't say better. I would say depends on what you're getting, from whom you're getting. If it's anything like it's on Amazon paper or Create Space paper, then it's going to be thin, and you know that going into it before you buy. This is adorable. Hold on, I'll answer it. Hold on, I gotta answer her. Sorry, guys, I just had to text that. Exactly. Every paper is going to be different. I'm not sure if this is Draco Professor Snap. This is cute too. These are super cute. I think this is Hagrid. Oh, Dobby the house elf. I think this is supposed to be Voldemort. Hermione. Professor McGonagall. This is a really cute book. I might take this book and cut and do what Jen is going to do, because the paper is very thin. But I left links down to where you can purchase all of these books. What went directly into your cart, Charlotte? Which book? The Harry Potter one? These are adorable. I should have gotten the orange one too, just so I could see this. And that's it. I guess you could use these last 2 pages as test pages if you wanted to. And then you get this in there. And then last but not least, you guys may have seen this in another stream, but this is Color in Heaven Costume Special. Now, this is a magazine that I bought separate from the. This one is set differently than the other ones. This is a special that you buy separate from the subscription. You know what? Everything is a little different, but if you can have patience, you kind of learn to work around that. No problem, Jess. I love showing books. Everybody calls me the enabler central. And I like to say that I am not enabling. I am simply providing. I am simply providing a service. I do not enable. I simply provide a service by showing books. And if people want that, then I'm fine. This is the costume one. This is separate from the Color in Heaven magazine. Like you buy these separately. Like they have another one out, but that one doesn't interest me. So when these come along, if it's something that I'm interested in, then I buy it. But if it's something that I don't really have an interest in, I don't buy it because I have. But I'm very good at buying, I'm very good at finding books and deals. Sometimes you have to try really hard to find deals. So this is the costume one. This is by Fabiana Treje, she's an Italian artist. And she did another, I think they did dedicated, I think she did that princesses one. And the costumes come from, yes. You know who's even better, who used to be even better was Coloring Queen. I know at one point she had a much bigger collection. I am still waiting for my Serenity by Anastasia L.E.L. But that's an adorable book, Corbin. What are ho-hos? Are those like those chocolate things with the frosting in them, or am I thinking of the ring dings? Well, this is Color in Heaven, and this was, I think, what did I pay? $18 for this one? Because I had to pay for this, and it's an overseas company. It's a British company. I still don't have the new Colin Thompson one yet, so when I get that one, you guys will know about that. Oh, sorry, I thought they were like a ring ding. Oh, let's not even talk about diamond paintings. I'm almost done with the Allison's the Snow one. So, just so you guys know, and I was also cleaning the bathroom before I got on. I'm not buying those things because my mother will not let me have those in the house. So I actually let her buy them. If she buys them, it's okay. But if I buy them, they're not okay because then I'm disrupting her diet if I buy things like that. Fairy with tiger. And it's a 35 by 50 centimeters. So I think it's a 16 by 20. Michelle won't like surprises. Plus, I bought her a little accessory kit, and this accessory kit wasn't supposed to come in a bag. It was supposed to come in a box. Instead, they sent it to her in a bag. This is the 1960s, 70s. The John Travolta disco ball. Riverdale in the 80s. This girl's dressed up like Madonna. It was a cute bag, but that was not what it should have come in a box. I think this is Elizabeth Tudor. Now, if you've ever looked at an outfit of Elizabeth Tudor in her when she was young, this was the standard costume that she wore. It was very regal looking. Actually, in England, in the museums, they have this dress replicated. I've never seen it, but my mother took a picture of the dress. And let me tell you something, it is quite ornate. "1940s evening attire. Mayan warrior." I know, that's just so sad what happened to his wife. First his oldest son, then his wife dying. I took out all those 96 pencils that I had in the new Schiffer Farby case and put them in the old Black Widow case. I'm just waiting for the new 1980s Samurai. I'm just waiting for the new Monarchs to come. That should be nice. Ancient Roman. I had bad stomach pains and then all the nastiness happened. But I also had a bout of nausea yesterday. I don't know what caused me to have the bout of nausea. And I'm like, pray to God, it's not what I think it is. That's a good price because I paid it a little bit. I paid about $50 for my pencils. But since I already have them, I really don't need to buy another set. And my mother's on my ass about buying things. This is Viking Warriors. And that's the last page. And then they give you the Discovery Club. So we're going to color out a bad fairies. So you guys got complete flip-throughs of everything that's new. Except for the 3 books that I ordered today. Oh, here's a picture of the fan that came today. This little fan came today, and this was not the way it was advertised to look. It looks similar to this, but the way they had it was the water case was on the side. I don't miss my mom's bagging. I actually like it when she's not here. So they were like supposed to get it delivered. Remember my Monelli's, guys? I'm going to show you how many I have left, actually. I don't have that many left. I have quite a few already. But this was only where I was holding 80 of them, so like I only have half of them. So the case is supposed to be really nice. I saw somebody had on their channel the case of them, but I can't find them right now because my mother's on my case about my money being bye-bye soon. So keep that in mind that my mother's on my case about how much money I spend. I love this mug. Well, I used them all up, the other half of the markers. So, from what I've heard, a lot of people like the new case. So we are going to color her hair scarlet. Or we could color her brunette. Or we could color her blonde. What would we like to color her? Or we could color her hair purple. We could color it blue. I have a brand new set of markers too. Someone said red. And we're coloring it rose red. These are my new markers. These are the touch cool markers, but they were advertised as something else. But I like these because they're black and they're the 168 marker case is nice. Those are nice cases. They hold a lot. I don't do rainbow hair, Michelle. Now I'm not ever. Rainbow hair is just too difficult. You know, if it's something I need, then my mother will let me have it. But the thing is, I got to be offsetting so much stuff lately because she's on my case about making space for things. Oh, you're funny. And I'll tell you right now, I don't own any books by Belba family. Watch, now that I said that, someone's going to send me a Belba family book. I have no books by Belba family. But I haven't seen. Well, the thing is, if I ever run out of my Cali arts, I would probably try and buy the 180 set because I like them big. And, Dick Blick told me that they don't have the new Copic art set yet, the new Copic refills in yet. That they're gonna wait till after the pandemic is over, or at least until a vaccine comes. So then that they will stock them in probably next year. They'll start having the new refills in. Just because right now everything is taking so long to get from China. And they have to literally order those things from Japan, but those things have to go through China. And I have to go through my stuff first before I get anything new. Because my mother's on my case. Like, do you really need new stuff? Look at how much stuff you have already. So my mother's been kind of on my case about how much stuff I get. Yep, every single day. She comes in this room. Now, she put stuff up here in the beginning of the year. Now, in the beginning of the year, she was supposed to have the floors redone. Now, when the floors are going to be redone, I'm going to be out of this house for 2 weeks. So during those 2 weeks, I probably will not have any lives during those 2 weeks when the floors are being redone. But my mother's waiting for the estimate to come in. My mother's waiting for a whole bunch of stuff. So when those 2 weeks happen, I'm probably going to try and make videos beforehand for those 2 weeks. But then I'm going to try and make videos when I know the actual date of it's going to happen. Yes, but the thing is, Tracy, my unemployment extra $600. Some of you don't know this, but I have been getting an extra $600 from unemployment. I am on unemployment, but by $600 extra money runs out at the end of the month. So now my mother is, I have to rethink what I'm going to buy and what I'm not going to rebuy. So plus that, there has to be money for credit cards, because I got to pay that off. And I did pay another credit card off, so now I'm down to 5 credit cards instead of 8. I paid 3 credit card bills off this year. So it's not like I can just go and pluck what I was doing before this, Yeah, I got a stimulus check too, but that doesn't necessarily mean that things, there were things that I had to set. I was told by my job to apply for it. I'm a person who didn't apply for it. Yeah, but I still have 5 more to pay off, so. I'm really proud of the fact that I paid off one of the cards this month, though, which brings my bills down to 5. So I'm hoping I can pay probably next month or the month after. I'll probably pay down another one. For me, paying down my debts is really important. But then, then there were things like, that I'm helping my mother with the grocery. Even though I'm not paying my mother rent right now, I've been helping out with household expenses like food and, the coffee and things. Oh, God, don't get me started on what happened with the coffee today. Because sometimes I make a whole pot of coffee, right? Well, I got the ground coffee today. And, the ground coffee came, and when it came in, some of it was all splattered on the bottom of the bag, you know? Well, a lot of the coffee was spilled all over the place. So what I had to do was, because I had two extra, luckily I had two small little mason jars that were empty. I was originally going to use them for that, holding all the spare diamond beads that I get from my once I'm done with the diamond painting in it, which I have one so far, but I haven't filled it up yet. So that's what I've been doing with some of the spare ones with the kits that I finished. So it has leftover drills from two of the kits, which is the one of the mason jars is downstairs. So what I did was I washed out the mason jars, and then I put the ground coffee in two of the three mason jars that I had that were empty. And so then now they're holding the ground coffee in mason jars rather than them in the bag. So here's the thing: when you store them in the bag is heavy, and sometimes, but then now that I have them in the mason jars, I can see how much is actually going out. And this will be a better way to store things. Sometimes necessity creates opportunity. I don't color as fast as Anne does with her markers. Anne is so good with her markers. I love Anne's. Wasn't that a better idea than having it in the bag that already ripped and everything tore apart? Thank you guys for the thumbs up. Guys, when you thumbs up, that puts us in to the higher recommendations for people who watch these kinds of videos. Oh, guys, if you haven't checked out this channel, there's a channel called Pebbles Adult Coloring Corner. She's very, very new. She just put up the fifth part of her coloring book collection, and she's got a nice size collection. She doesn't have many videos on her channel. She's very, very new. So if you guys could give a sub to her, she's very, very new. But I like her channel so far. I like her energy. She seems very nice, very friendly, very personable. So you guys could go over to Pebbles Adult Coloring. Hi, Pebbles. How are you? Pebbles Adult Coloring. She's here in the chat with us, guys. So if you don't know what her channel is, click on her name and go and click those three dots. There will be giveaways on the channel, but later in the week there won't be no giveaways during the stream because I still have to give away the other stuff. I didn't get a chance to go to the post office because I hadn't been feeling well the last 2 days, so my body just was not in ideal shape. I remember when I was a smaller channel and didn't have a lot of followers. So, I like Deborah Muller's art, but I don't like the earlier stuff that she did. But I like stuff like this that it's more portrait size and has the big face. See, for me, I prefer streaming with my webcam rather than my phone because a lot of you don't know this. For a little while, we were unlimited, but then my mother didn't like the price of unlimited. She said it was too expensive to get limited, so then she went back to data cap. So now even if I want to stream on my phone, I don't want to because I use up the data plan when I do that, as opposed to when I'm on my. Thank you, Miss Robin. Robin is our link extraordinaire. Where was Robin's message retracted? Robin, why was your message retracted? There was no reason to retract your message. Thank you, Miss Robin. Really? You can't do that anymore? That's such a shame that you can't do that anymore. Someone said to me, "How do you find new channels?" Sometimes when I go to somebody else's channel, there's a bunch of lists on the side of YouTube. They say you might like this person's video. Robin does a lot for us in the stream, so she actually does a lot of my links because sometimes you get busy coloring and you can't do everything, and that's when the mods are really a tremendous help to some of us who are coloring. If you're like me, you go through markers pretty fast because I love coloring with markers. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't like coloring with pencils. Yep, and they do get rid of trolls. We don't like trolls. Trolls are evil. But, I think in all facets of YouTube, there's going to always be the troll. Then there's always going to be the troll that follows you from stream to stream. Trolls are disruptive. And I think they like to see people get upset. This is 63 Cerulean Blue, which you probably will always have trolls. There'll be always some smart ass in the comments who will always say something smart. You think they're so smart. You know what I say? I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I'm not going to be liked by everybody, and I'm fine with that. This is a Cali art. This is G115. Robin is like we call Robin our super reader. This is a Lyra Rembrandt pencil, and this is white. This is probably the only area that I ever color it white because there's not really a whole lot of companies that make white markers. Don't know what happened to my white gel pen. This is a Moninelli. This is vivid purple. Isn't it pretty good? You know, some set. This is what's important to look at other sets besides the ones that you know. You know, I think we all like different books, different genres. I didn't realize that this was going to be a long one. How long are we? Oh, we're only at an hour. That's good. And some skin tones. Should I do whipped thing pink, purple? Yeah, I think I should do that purple. Yeah, I ended up buying whose book? I ended up buying Mary Trump's new book. Yes, I did buy it because it sounded interesting, and I wanted to see what this woman had to say. And I watched her interview last night before I got really sick. I don't know what caused my nausea last night before I got really. Oh no, this is only because I have a piece of paper underneath it. And how can we tell a juicy marker, everybody? According to Miss Ann, what is the sign of a juicy marker? You can see the back of it. That is a sign of a juicy marker. Skin is not that easy with markers. Kim thinks it's easy, but it's not. Pastel pink. Depends on what you're coloring in and what paper you're coloring on. On this paper, it is easier. Grayscale makes coloring skin really easy because they do all the highlights and shading for you, which I like. Now we will do our skin, but we will do our skin with the touch coat because I haven't used any of the skin tones in this before. No problem. No problem. Do what you need to do, guys. If you have to go, go. You know, I'm not going to hold it against you because remember, you can always see this. Where's my daily beige? I always like the barely beige. What? Where did I miss a thought? Thank you. Thank you, Corbin. Barely beige is number 29. Barely beige. When I'm using a big area, I prefer to use the chisel. Thank you. Well, this book, I feel like with Deborah Muller books, I can take more risks with the hair colors and do more funky things with them. Nika is here, everybody. Yay, welcome back, Nika. Like now, the timing is going to be unusual because, you know, I have to share. No, you guys also forget that I have to share the computer with my mother. You know, one thing during this quarantine, because I got that, you know, money. One of the things I did with my money. Now, you see how lighter this is coming out now that it's starting to lighten up? I think she was meant to be an elf. Some people sometimes draw clothes. I'm hoping that I will have another month to be able to color and maybe finish another book off. You know, I'm on the verge of finishing the first half of Elegant Faces and first half of the mermaid book from Jade Summer, the one with the really nice mermaids. I'm almost done with the first half of that book, believe it or not, which I'm kind of surprised, but it really shouldn't surprise me. The Pet Sparkle Pop. You guys know that I have a thing for the Pentel Sparkle Pops. Yeah, I know, Elizabeth. I bought them. Along with Jade Summer. Jade Summer released a new grayscale today. And I bought that too. I wasn't supposed to buy any more books. But now I'm going to have to finish a book because Mother's kind of on my case to do this, do that, do this, do that. You know, and I'm like, she's cutting into my coloring time, my watching time. And then she goes, no, my stuff is more important than your stuff. I'm like, kind of like in that state with her, like, why are you doing this? Chibi horror grayscale. It really is real. I wouldn't have never bought these had I not seen a video by Jennifer Stay. Jennifer Stay of Coloring Pages Bliss. I tell you, Pentel should be paying her money for the advertisements that she did with that Vivid Pink. Thank you. But we're not done with the skin. See, it looks so smooth now. See, if you don't like your color that the marker base is, you can always go over it with pencil or go over it again with a darker color if you want it darker. People say I enable them all the time. I don't see how I enable people. Me and Dee Dee and even Coloring Queen say, we just provide a service for you people. I gotta color in my other set. God, that's gonna fall right over. I leave it there. Baby Yoda will keep you company, ladies and gentlemen. Baby Yoda will keep you company. Turquoise green light. This is a piano. I'll tell you now, the colors between the Mianos and the Copics are so similar. It's not even funny. I ran out of the Cali art and I didn't have I didn't have a backup color in my catalog. So then I looked in Piano, and the same number showed up for that exact color, and it colored almost exactly the same shade. I try and do other hobbies like diamond paint maybe. If I have a diamond painting ready to go that I want to work in, sometimes I work in that. Sometimes I watch TV. Sometimes I clean. Sometimes I sort through my books. So, you know, you have to vary what you color too. It can't always be the same artist. That's why it's good to have a few different types of books, like one for portraits, one for mandalas. You know, I have the Chibi book that is in grayscale too, but I still bought the grayscale one. You need to give yourself time to do other books and do other hobbies. Sometimes you know what happens. We start off in a book and we love it, and then after a while, coloring, we're like, nope, we don't want to color in that anymore. I'm glad Jade Summer's doing grayscale, but it becomes very hard for me because now I found myself now like going through my books and like saying to myself, what do I really want to color in? What isn't important to me anymore? What have I colored in? What do I truly want to keep? What do I truly not want to keep? Am I going to color in this? Am I not going to color in this? These are the questions you got to ask yourself when you buy books, because then you get a collection that is humongous like my own. And I'm not bragging, but I'm saying that my collection is very big now. And the problem with having a big collection, and some people say, well, how could that ever be a problem? What do I want to color? And if you have too much, I'm not a color by number girl. I'm starting to understand why people like it. But when I do color by number, I find that in some ways it's nice, but in then other ways it's not so nice, because then I don't get to control what the color is, but then I don't have to worry about how the picture is going to turn out. Oh, what if I don't like the color I pick? What if I don't like this? You know what I mean? Like, everybody's going to have different feelings about books. I didn't mean it. I kind of didn't mean it. I'm sorry if you took it to me offensively, but I'm like, you have so many hobbies, Robin. It's like, I don't think you would ever get bored of them. If you truly get bored, I say sometimes, take a walk to clear your head, because sometimes that walk proves to be very beneficial. Watch TV. Watch a new program on Netflix. I don't have any of the Ruby Charm books, but those don't kind of, you know, what's funny? Corey, one time, my friend, I have a friend named Corey, and a lot of you know who this is. So she would love to come over my house, and I go, oh yeah, you and my nieces. And some of you know I've been giving my nieces some of the more kitty books, because they're at that age where they can really like the kiddie stuff now. Saya's a little under one, and I think what is Hazel, 3 or 4 now, maybe 2, 3 or 4 years old. But she was like, it was so funny when they opened the Frozen book. She was like, "Gimme, gimme, gimme," and they're like, "Do you want your crayons?" So I got to see a video of that. Now I'm not allowed to show videos of her because I don't want to violate my brother and my sister-in-law Liz's privacy. You know that I don't think it's right to show someone else's kid without having their parents' permission. You know what someone once told me about boredom? I didn't believe them at the time. Boredom is just meaning you don't have anything to do. And someone said, well, if you're not working, either you're eating or sleeping. And if you're not doing that, then you're not working. My father, and it wasn't my father, but someone once said this on a show. If you're not working, eating, or sleeping, then you're not doing anything and you're bored. Boredom is the absence of something to do. So it was like, oh, that's one way to look at boredom. I never thought of boredom that way until I heard that from somebody. Which book are you wanting to get rid of? Corbin, you know what I do? Before you get rid of that book, put it aside for a while and go into another book. Or you know what you do? Find something else to do, like diamond painting, watch TV, a new series, or sit down and watch something old that you wanted to watch a long time ago, but never had the heart to do. Like I ended up watching all 7 seasons in 2 weeks of One Calls the Heart, maybe 3 weeks. I watched the first 5 seasons on Netflix, and then I paid for the sixth and seventh season on Amazon Prime. Corbin, you paid a lot of money for that. So you know what I did? I put that book aside and then find something else to color or watch something. You may just not be in the mood to finish it because you may need something else to do. Because so what happens is that, and this is the good thing about having a lot of books, but this is also the bad thing. You have a lot to choose from. And sometimes you're like, nope. You know, Corbin, you put all that time into a book. You should just put it aside for now. Maybe you'll come back to it later when you're refreshed and you have more energy to do it. Sometimes, when we color something long and difficult, we don't really have the energy to do the things that we need to do with it. Why'd you time her out? You know, I think sometimes we need to time out things. Sometimes we need to put something down for a while. And then you know what? If and when we get the time to do it again, we'll have the time to do it again. I've done that with a few Kirby books, a few Kirby picks, because I get tired of doing that. I've done that with Johanna. I've done that with Clara Makova. Don't do that tonight. That's okay, Robin. I'm sure she'll forgive you. Yes, you notice I'm putting the pentel on her wings. When I was going through my books, I found my Easter books from I found my Easter and my Valentine's Day books from Jennifer's Day, and I took out my Easter Bliss book because there's some pictures in that Easter book that I do want to do, and I think there's a couple of grayscale pictures in there that book that I want to try in the flowers. And Steve Stay actually took those pictures. Now, if you don't know anything about Jennifer Stay, she has some photos that her husband took and converted them into grayscale pictures to color. And there's some reference photos that you can see of Steve's work online. And her husband is a very good photographer, by the way, because he mostly colors need. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes we are like so gun ho about a book, but we don't realize how much time it's going to take. Like when I see the Thomas Love comic books, I kind of almost get like cross-eyed sometimes because sometimes I'll see the picture and then I'll get like this is too detailed right now for me. Maybe I'll do them later on. Like one reason why I don't have the Thomas Kincaid book, and I love Disney as much as anybody else, but I'm like, I'm not gonna go blah 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 for them. You know what I mean? Because I think they're complicated pictures to pictures, and I've seen some people do beautiful work in them. Does that mean that the book is not isn't for me? Yeah, it's not for me, but that doesn't mean that they're bad books. It just means that I may not. Done. Thing with me is that I'm a fast color. Even in Kirby's books, I'm a fast colorer, but that doesn't mean that it's not gonna. Oh, and this color is number 84, and it's pastel violet, and it's from my Monellis. Do you anybody know what markers we have not used yet in this? One of my favorite markers. Trivia question. One of my favorite markers to use. I don't think she'd like that too much. Michelle. Yes, Copics, Elizabeth are my favorite markers to use. But some paper does not respond to Copics. I find that Copics do okay in the Create Space books, but they really work well in like artist grade books, like they work really well on the Linda Ravenscroft books. They work really well in the Color It books. Jennifer Stays marker paper. But in like the Amazon paper books, the ones that work really well, like the Cali Arts. Robin, what's up with you today? So then we go back to this. Don't worry, I have more than one of these. I bought like 2 sets of these. I just wish these were refillable, like other gel pens. You know, sometimes I buy gel pens. When I bought these because I love the sparkle of them. And then I started buying more of these, but they only come in so many a pack. I wish that they would make refills for these. Pantel, are you listening? Please make gel pen refills for these. Make gel pen refills for these. And I guess I could call this Color Your Hoard too, because this is the first picture that we're doing in this book for Lorella's thing. Oh, Pep, sometimes people have hashtags that they do for the year. Lovella's Coloring and Kylara, Lovella of Lovella's Coloring Corner, and Kylara are hosting Color Your Hoard 2020. And what that is basically any book that you have not colored in or finished a page in. You may have colored worked in it, but you don't have a finished page in it, the first page that you color in a book goes towards Color Your Hoard. Corbin, I guess Robin's phone doesn't like you very much. I guess Robin's phone has been possessed by a demonic force. What's wrong with your tummy, Michelle? Remember, we used to put May in the corner all the time, guys. Remember? May Brock used to be put in the corner all the time because she used to misbehave. So we would always say, "Oh, Miss May, go in the corner where the rest of the liquor is." Remember that, guys, when we used to put May in the corner all the time? Then I will put this red and red and red and red, and then we'll do it blue. Then we'll do the background blue. I put a list down where you can buy the books. There's a whole thing of books where you can purchase them. Don't worry, I'm just going to move this up a little, the blotter. I don't think that's the... I think we all make those mistakes, Robin. This is Ice Blue, number 65, and it's a Monelli. You know what it is? I think it's, what happened was the rules changed because of COPA, and then, the COVID happened, and then other things happened over the years. People, sometimes real life happens. The case of certain color tubers, and things change. Some people end up having families and babies. Sometimes they just don't have the time anymore to do their YouTube channel like the way they used to. I was going to say, just don't put it on the counter in the kitchen. You're in my mind, Robin. I think that a lot of things happen in life with people. And, circumstances change, timing changes. That too. I was going to say, then COPA happened too. Remember? The Child Protection Act happened, and that happened. And then YouTube. Oh, if you also remember what happened before COPA was that a lot of YouTubers had to change the way production was done, and they weren't getting monetized because of the things that happened with, you have to have a certain number of followers to have this to be monetized, and other things, That hurt a lot of smaller YouTuber channels because they wanted to get rid of what they considered bad acts in the community. Yeah, I do too. It's like, you have to have this too. I joined Zoe's chat. I joined Zoe's Facebook group. I can't remember what it's called, Our Happy Coloring Place or something like that, just to be around to see her again. I think it was very unfair what they did to her because she used Crayolas. You know, I just think it was very unfair that they said that she should switch her channel to a child's thing. But that's neither here nor there. That was a personal decision for Zoe to do. Yeah, I think we all feel like we're still in our 20s when we're 40s. So when we're in our 50s, we'll feel like we're in our 30s. Then when we're in our 60s, we'll feel like we're in our 40s. Now, I've become a lot more braver about coloring in backgrounds. Before I didn't like coloring them in. Now I don't mind them so much. But I always get jealous of the people who can do those like pastel color and those like sunset with those different like purple, oranges, greens, reds backgrounds. So they do. I'm like, I get amazed when I see them with the pastels, but I don't have the patience to learn them pastels. I'm one of those persons, people who was raised with instant gratification. Have a fabulous weekend, Charlotte. They're not really that hard to color with if you take the time to learn them. We all colored with them as kids, or crazy arts as kids, depending on who your teacher was. But you know, I always had a horrible teacher for my art class. She said I couldn't do that. My pictures were terrible. My art was not very good. You know, and that discouraged me from doing art for a long time, even though I loved doing art. And for a long time, I didn't do art because I always remembered the art teacher was so nasty to me in elementary school, saying that my art just stunk. I remember the girl who sat next to me did these like beautiful masterpieces, like beautiful castles, beautiful princesses, beautiful horses and carriages. I always envied her because she had so much talent. Some people do beautiful work with Crayolas. Some people do beautiful work with budget pencils. You know who doesn't have a whole lot of fancy, schmancy pencils, but she has a lot of budget-friendly pencils because that's what her budget can allow her? Is Rita Brown of RB Dreams Art. She does some really nice pictures, and she doesn't spend a lot on her art supplies. Like a lot of what she has is budget-friendly, but she does a magnificent job with what she has. Yeah, now they have a 120 set. I have the 100 set that they released, I think last year, but I don't have the new 120 set that they released this year. I'm okay with that, you know, because I have plenty of pencils. Now, when I go coloring, I usually take my cheap set of pencils, like a cheap set of Crayolas with me, and I'm okay with that. Because if I lose one, I'm not going to be brokenhearted about it. I remember one time we had to draw stuff, and you know, I was drawing them, like I was starting to draw a carriage, then we had to pass it on to somebody else. And a lot of us did not like the assignment because it was an okay assignment, but then people were doing weird shit to certain pictures because they just wanted to be weird. And our teacher said, "This is interesting because all of you did." There was one person who ruined every picture that they worked on, and they made it like gothic instead of the way that people had originally intended the picture. This one person who was doing gothic crap on the pictures. I was like, I got mad because I was like, that was not what the assignment was to do. But I guess the art teacher wanted to teach us something, but I'll never know. So this is the picture that we have colored today in Bad Fairies. They have interesting color names. I'm not going to say their names are like the most creative. So we use Monelli's, Cali Arts, Pianos, Touch Cools. Yeah, I know they have 120 set. I don't have them. I only have the 100 set. Wow, 23 likes, guys. Thank you so much. So, and I want to thank everybody for coming. And remember, I put down the link below where you can purchase the books that I flipped through in the beginning of the stream. So, I hope you all have liked this stream and happy coloring, everybody. I don't know who's streaming right now, but whoever's streaming right now, go to them. If it's not me, it probably will be Michelle, or maybe Michelle will be streaming after dinner tonight. Thank you guys so much for coming. Hugs and kisses to you, Elizabeth, and I hope everybody is well and stays healthy and safe and takes care of themselves. So everybody have a great day and be positive. We will get through this quarantine, hopefully. Hopefully, this quarantine won't last that much longer. Bye, everybody.